Differences here currently at this very specific moment, all right? As you see, things are different around me. The main studio is being used currently to render a very large video, guys, for Patreon. So, either way, let's go ahead and check it out. This is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is The 10 World's Most Dangerous Roads That Actually Exist. Guys, I definitely hope that the roads are somewhat frightening and not just regular streets, because somebody, listen, you guys have been some of you guys, right? Not everyone, right? But have been sending me some like clickbait to react to, guys. I would prefer not to do that very specific type of thing, right? But either way, let's check it out. Let's see what this is about. If it will, there it goes. All right.
Without roads, our cars would not know where to go, so all the petrol heads of the world have a lot to thank the Romans for. But some roads haven't exactly aged well, and many of them weren't exactly all that safe to begin with. As a result of that, and a lack of funding for renovation, there are an awful lot of roads in the world that only a madman would be willing to drive down. These are the world's most dangerous roads that actually exist.
Okay.
Before we begin,
guys, really quickly, like I do a lot of off-roading, right? So I'm on roads that are not even roads. Okay. So hopefully they're none of those neither. I understand the bumpy ride, these type of things, but as of now, from what it looks like at least, there's definitely a lot of like countries that probably just couldn't afford to, as he said, maintain the roads. That's what it seems like so
Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos every day. With that being said, let's begin.
Let's go. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it.
Number 10. Atlantic Ocean Road. Have you ever wanted to drive somewhere that allows you to be in tune with nature? Then it might be time for a trip on the Atlantic Ocean Road. The Atlantic Road, which took 6 years to build in the early 1980s, is on the Norwegian coastline and offers a driving experience unlike anything you've possibly experienced before. When you're on the Atlantic Road, you'll feel like you're on a 22-mile roller coaster. There are curves, twists, turns, and unpredictable weather conditions that can throw a spanner in the mix when it comes.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this this road a road rating of probably 2 to 3 in terms of like dangerousness. I will say this incline here is probably a little scary, right? But I don't think that it's just dangerous. It just, unless it's like high tide maybe, or I'm sure they wouldn't build it to the point where water can actually even touch any of these sides. But all right.
Comes to visibility. Want to get hit by a freak wave while you're basically driving in the ocean? And this is the road for you. It might be a dangerous road that makes you feel like you're mere inches away from death, but it's also an exhilarating one with 8 bridges and breathtaking views. If there's one thing that many people have learned the hard way, however, is that you should never drive on the Atlantic Ocean Road during lousy weather. It can end poorly for those behind the wheel. Now it's time for the odd topic. We don't know where this road is.
Yeah, but the guys, that decline right here, it's like S-curved decline. Yeah, that looks like a problem. I personally probably would not want to have anything to do with that. I guess you're right. I just don't know why you wouldn't, like, did you have to purposely do this, guys? That looks a little steep. And, like, I don't know how, maybe this is, like, some, like, graphically altered, maybe? But I just don't know how mainly these gigantic trucks and some of the cars that float around Europe are extremely underpowered. How are they actually hitting that incline?
For those behind the wheel. Now it's time for the odd topic.
Let's go.
We don't know where this road is, but upon seeing the photo on another YouTube channel, we simply could not believe our eyes. The road seems to be darting straight through an ocean, almost as if Moses himself had parted the waters. The photo was sent to us by a loyal subscriber to our channel, who says the road used to exist, but that in recent years the water has swallowed up the road whole, meaning it no longer exists. To be honest, we don't know whether to believe him or not. How is the water staying parted? Do you think this road exists? Let us know. Remember to comment.
Guys, looking at this image, I would probably put this maybe like a 7. I'll give it a 7. Because I personally would not want to drive on this road at all. It looks one way. It's obviously a one-way road. I don't know if this is real based off of the color of the ocean right here, right? And the waves that are coming up, these waves would easily wash over this. So I think they would probably install some type of like quays or something along the edges at least. Guys, I think this is fake. And also look here at the bottom here. Moses Transport. I think this is like some Photoshop image, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pass on this one. If this was real, I would say 7, but it looks fake.
How is the water staying parted? Do you think this road exists? Let us know. Remember to comment down below with the hashtag #OddTopic and to let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. And now to the next topic. Number 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say
Commonwealth
fake on
Avenue,
that one.
the Philippines. Commonwealth Avenue. The name doesn't sound very deathly or dangerous, does it? Don't let this road name fool you, however, for it's a killer. Commonwealth Avenue is a 7.7-mile highway in Quezon City, Philippines. It spans 6 lanes at its narrowest point and 18 at its widest. It is well known as the widest highway in the Philippines. However, its lack of signage and recognition of road rules by its users means it's not a road that everyone who travels it is going to survive.
Okay.
There are no dedicated bicycle or motorcycle lanes, no stop or give way signs, and poor drainage. Public transport operators on this intensely busy highway also have no regard for road rules, stopping when and where they feel like it to pick up and drop off passengers. The Killer Highway, as it's commonly called, has a 37-mile speed limit, but that doesn't stop around 5 accidents on it every day, and nearly 7,000 deaths annually. Many of those who lose their life on the highway are bystanders, pedestrians, and cyclists, who stop to attend to accident victims and end up in accidents themselves. Even though this road doesn't sound particularly desirable, it's the main thoroughfare to other cities and government agencies. Therefore, it's not one you can avoid if you live in the area. Number 8.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and give that road a 5. Personally, I don't like the width of it, right? But I mean, I guess that's if everyone drives safely, it'll be fine, I guess, right? But generally, people are not synchronized, so that's one thing. I can imagine the amount of accidents that are happening on that road, and that's what I think is preventing me from giving it like a 2, because I think it looks extremely dangerous, right? And the fact that what he said is there's no signage or anything like that on the road, so how do people, oh god, how do tourists know? Or can tourists not drive? Well, maybe tourists can't drive. If they can drive, then that makes it even more dangerous.
James Dalton Highway, Alaska. The James Dalton Highway in Alaska may sound familiar to you for many reasons. It was featured on TV shows such as Ice Road Truckers, America's Toughest Jobs, and World's Most Dangerous Roads. If that's not enough to convince you that this road means business, then nothing will. The James Dalton Highway is a 414-mile stretch of road in Alaska that runs north of Fairbanks up to Dead Horse. It's near the Arctic Ocean, Prudhoe Bay, and the Prudhoe Bay oil fields. Since 2008, it has claimed 6 lives, including an experienced truck driver. Dalton Highway, as it's known for short, is thought to be one of the most isolated highways in the entire country. There are only 3 towns along the 400-plus mile road, and it features mainly gravel, with steep grades along the way. Anyone who decides to take this road is urged to take survival gear, because recovery and rescue could be hours away should you need it.
I bet.
This dangerous and remote highway is still
Also, how would you even contact the people? I'm sure there's also no cell signal out there, guys. Yeah, that would be incredibly dangerous. You literally have to wait for someone to come down the road behind you or coming towards you and ask, basically beg that they actually stop. Maybe that works in Alaska, but I know that probably won't work anywhere else.
Relatively well used. At least 250 trucks, such as those featured on Ice Road Truckers, travel it in winter daily, and around 160 each day in the summer. It's also within a few miles of the Arctic Ocean, which means commercial tours are not uncommon either. If you find yourself navigating down this dangerous and possibly deadly highway, take care. Drive with your headlights on, and consider not even driving it at all.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give that one right there a rating. The fact that there's probably no cell signal, and also that you're probably going to get stuck potentially. If anything happens to you, you need to know how to stay alive in situations like that. I'm gonna go ahead and give that one a 7. All right, and that's gonna be the first 7. I'm taking away the 7 from the one that looks fake, the parted ocean one that looks fake, bro. But this one here, I'm gonna give it a solid 7 because you are literally out there on your own, unless there's like a town. And you're basically, your only survival is based on if someone is going to stop and help you.
Guoliang Tunnel Road, China. The village of Guoliang, in the Henan province of China, had long been cut off from civilization by the imposing Taihang Mountains. To make it easier for the current villagers and those in the future, a group from the village came together to carve a road into the mountain. Many of them sold their livestock to buy the materials and tools they needed. Then, 13 of them got to work. 1 died during construction, but the remaining 12 took to the mountains with hammers and chisels to carve out a 4-meter wide, 5-meter tall road. The going was tough, and even though the Guoliang Tunnel Road is only 0.75 miles long, it was carved out at a rate of 1 meter every 3 days in some stages. The villagers finally finished the dangerous road on May 1st, 1977. Since then, the village has become a tourist attraction, and the road has even appeared in films. It has also rightfully earned its name as the road that does not tolerate mistakes. Given the open edges and massive drop to your death, they aren't lying.
Guys, but what are they doing to actually hold up that structure? Because generally, if you're going to cut something underneath, like rock, at least, you need something to like hold it up or prop it up at the very least, right? To relieve some of the pressure from the plane of rock that's above you guys. I don't see any like wood or anything. I don't think wood could do anything in that situation based off of how much rock is sitting above it. But, I would expect or hope that they were going to do something for that, but they didn't. In terms of danger, I wouldn't say it's very high because at the very least, they have barriers that oh gosh. They have barriers that they built very specifically.
Number 6. Meadows Road, Pakistan.
Just don't go fast.
Have you ever had a near-death experience? Every inch of the 10 miles you drive or bicycle along Meadows Road in Pakistan is a near-death experience.
Right.
Once named the second most dangerous road in the world, this mountain road is not for the faint-hearted.
Bro, don't drive down that road.
It's a high mountain track in Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan region that's both slippery gravel and not maintained. There are no guardrails to stop you from falling to your death, and the road is only wide enough for one standard vehicle, and no more. Get it wrong, and this mountain road at 3,300 meters above sea level will make sure you don't go home to your family.
Of course.
What's more, the higher you get, the more narrow the road becomes. Eventually, there's only enough room for a bicycle. The Meadows Road begins on the Karakoram Highway and ends in a village called Tato. It's closed in the summer and is at its safest, if you could call it safe, in June and July. Since Nanga Parbat mountain villagers built the road hundreds of years ago, it has not seen any repairs. Now, it's a trekker's paradise, providing entry for those who want to climb the 9th highest mountain in the world, Nanga Parbat. Number 5.
Okay, that's a 10. I'm just going to go ahead and suggest I would not tell you to ever visit a place like that. I mean, if there's another way to get to that very specific town, I would suggest it. Maybe a plane or helicopter. I know these are probably much more expensive options, but I would not suggest anyone driving down that road in anything larger than probably a motorcycle, guys. Right?
Sichuan-Tibet Highway, China.
That's a strict
out of every
10 for
100,000 drivers who navigate the 1,330 miles of the Sichuan-Tibet Highway, 7,500 will not make it home. With rock slides, avalanches, poor weather conditions, and treacherous driving conditions, it's a white-knuckle road that will almost guarantee your heart in your throat at every hairpin corner. The Sichuan-Tibet Highway begins in Chengdu of Sichuan and ends up in the west side of Lhasa, Tibet. It's a 36-hour drive without any delays, but can leave thousands of motorists stranded for weeks. It's also a standard route for truck drivers. There's no denying that the scenery is spectacular on this highway. Peaks rise skyward, and open landscapes with plateaus and happily grazing yaks are a common sight. However, skyward, and open landscapes with...
Oh my. That is beautiful photography.
Plateaus and happily grazing yaks are a common sight. However, you can't spend too much time gazing out the passenger window at the 14 mountains, dozens of rivers and forests, as the road loves to throw some challenges your way. Landslides can travel down cliffs when you least expect it, and adverse weather conditions can make the route almost impossible to travel at times. As the road isn't paved, a little bit of rain can cause thick mud to form and trap hundreds of cars. You're going to need to pack your board games for this road, for if you do get stuck in a jam, you, or at least your vehicle, can be there for weeks. Getting stuck sure beats the alternative, however. In 2011, a bus veered off the road, dived into a ravine, and killed all 16 on board. Number 4.
Wow. I'm going to go ahead and give that one probably... Guys, I want to give it a 7. I know I'll give the other one a 7, but I can't... I don't know, guys. It's too beautiful for me not to want to go down there. I'm just going to go ahead and point this out. But I understand that you could be stuck for weeks at a time if no one else comes down there. But I would go preferably during a season that would have a lot of like traffic down that road. I would not go during a time where it could be weeks at a time, guys.
Way to hell, Alabama. To look at U.S. Highway 431 down the Alabama-Tennessee line to Dothan, Alabama. It wouldn't send chills up your spine. But look a little closer, and this 353-mile road, aptly named the Highway to Hell, is making motorists second-guess their travel movements. Even though it's not a scary road to drive, it's a dangerous one, and has been named as so by the World Health Organization. Every year, tens of thousands of people die on that stretch of road. In 2011, that figure reached over 33,000. The main hazards that people face on the highway are high speeds, lane changes from 2 to 4 and 4 to 2, and poor visibility. There may not be any genuinely challenging road conditions, but the many hundreds of crosses that line the highway are proof that the Highway to Hell deserves its nickname and its place as number 4.
Then it seems like wherever where those accidents keep happening, they should probably put either, I don't know, like a mirror or something showing if it's that much of a blind spot. At least put like a mirror up there, so when someone comes, they know they're coming, so you're not like in the wrong lane at the wrong time, right? I would speculate if that many people have lost their lives on that very specific road, you at least do something to mitigate that by putting something that will stop it, right?
3.
Or maybe like even a light saying, like a flashing light saying a car is entering into the lane on the other side.
Halsema Highway. Even though the paving of
I'm going to
Halsema
give that one probably a 3, though.
Highway in 2011 has made this dangerous stretch of road safer, it's still one that will keep your heart racing for all 93 miles.
Okay.
Those who travel this highway from Baguio City to Bontoc have to prepare themselves for drop-offs around 1,000 feet, steep crags, winding roads, mudslides, landslides, and falling rocks. If that's not enough to make you turn back,
Yeah,
then
I'm
it will
turning back,
surely
bro.
be the speeding buses that can put small vehicles in danger. Commuters, tourists, and
Speeding buses?
transporters all use the Halsema Highway,
Yeah,
and
right.
many haven't made it home to their families. Debris tumbles from the surrounding mountains onto the road.
Look, I mean, I get it. They get paid more to deliver more people, but guys, you're putting everyone else in danger. Speeding buses around turns like that.
And low-lying mist and fog make visibility challenging at the best of times. You then, of course, have to combat the Cordillera Central Mountain Range, which fortunately is far safer today than it has been in the past. If it rains, you're in for an even more challenging time, as both mudslides and slippery roads cause problems for motorists. This highway may be the main artery for the Cordillera road system, but we're sure most people will be scoping out another route just in case. Number 2. Luxor-Al-Hurghada Road. It can be a little scary driving at night, but what if it wasn't only the road trying to
That last one was obviously horrific, mainly because of the buses, but the road itself, 4.
kill you, but everything on and around it? The Luxor-Al-Hurghada Road, which connects southern Egypt's city of Luxor to Hurghada, looks innocent, but is anything but. Once night falls, fatal accidents are dime a dozen, due to everyone driving with their lights off. Why? Because if they don't, bandits and terrorists will see the car lights and shoot at the drivers.
What?
The road, with no holdups, will take under 5 hours to drive on, but it's a heart-stopping 5 hours.
10. That's a 10, right? It's dark. You're in the middle of a desert road, a highway, but on the left and right of you, it's a desert, right? And they drive with their lights off so they don't get shot at. Okay. I mean, yeah. 10, all right? That's just a 10. I don't know why. I mean, God, guys, what do you even say to that? That's stay away from that road.
Hours. If you drive with your lights off, you're putting yourself and others at risk.
Right.
But if you don't, you could end up dead or wounded anyway.
Right.
The problem is, Luxor-Al-Hurghada Road is the main route between two terrorist hubs. It's a well-maintained and asphalted road, but targeted by those who attempt to undermine the tourism industry. In 1997, Jihad Talat al-Fath Islamic group gunmen shot 62 German tourists in Luxor along that road. While nothing of that magnitude has happened since, it goes to show just how a simple road can have some hidden dangers.
Guys.
No.
Oh, Egypt is an interesting place, right? I can tell you just from experience in Egypt, I probably personally have no interest in going back to this country. And this is, oh, guys, yeah, I would definitely say this is the country that I would always say I'd never visit. It looks lovely. There are a lot of things there for historical purposes that are interesting. I would just say, like, as someone who is in like the, apologies guys, someone that is in like the content creator space or like, you know, the photography space mainly, I would definitely say don't go there as a photographer, because I went there as a photographer, guys, and listen to the experience of people who have been. You'll instantly grasp that this is not a very friendly place. Either you're going to get your money taken from you by people basically price gouging you because you're a foreigner, right? Or the government themselves, getting off the plane, will just take your equipment, and you won't get it back until you leave. Then what's the purpose of even going, right? So just understand that happened to me. I know it's happened to a couple other people. And it happens to almost every creator that you encounter on YouTube that experience Egypt. They will tell you the same things. I don't know what it is. I wish I can give a better explanation for why Egypt is such a terrible place to visit. Definitely not trying to disparage the country itself. I understand it's gone through a lot of craziness, right? But you can't have a country rooted in tourism, but just absolutely just do not like tourists, guys, right? Specifically tourists that are coming there to photograph your country, make your country look amazing, right? And then that in itself brings people back to the country. But instead what they do, what they have done is they will just take your equipment and then now what? iPhone photography, bro. That's not going to work the same. You understand? But either way.
Number 1. North Yungas Road, Bolivia.
No disrespect,
Before significant
obviously.
upgrades, the
Just
North
giving my
Yungas Road in
personal
Bolivia,
opinion.
also known as Death Road, was a road you'd write your will and testament for before you began your journey. Every year, it was claiming the lives of over 1,200 people, or the same population as Sun Valley, Idaho.
Okay.
Imagine losing an entire city's population on one stretch of road. Due to the narrowness and treachery of it.
Then that means the country should then come in and try to fix this road. If people have to take it, it should be 100% fixed and made it so this would never happen.
The area adopted a left-hand drive policy. The rest of the country drove on the right, but driving on the left allowed drivers to know where their wheel was with regard to the edge of the road. There were also no guardrails to stop you from falling over the edge, and fog and rain would hinder your efforts to drive safely at every turn.
Wow.
Over a 20-year period, a safer route was built until its completion in 2006. A significant sector of this deadly road is now removed from the North Yungas Road. Would you be game enough to travel on any of these roads? Did we leave any off the list that are...
All right, so I can literally tell you that there's a couple of them that aren't as crazy. There was some that I would go because I think the overall landscape just looks beautiful. I would love to photograph something like this, right? Like mainly the first one that was on this list here, the Atlantic Ocean Road. That's not that bad. The Commonwealth Avenue in the Philippines, that's probably going to be a no for me because with no signage and if they allow tourists to drive, that's a problem for me personally. The Dalton Highway, but the one in Pakistan, that's a no. That's a permanent no. I'm sorry. I'm under no circumstance would I put myself on that road. Never. It'll never happen, guys. Not for me, at least, right? But all right, listen. Let me know in the comments of the next subject we should be checking out, and I will get into that as soon as I possibly can. All right. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy your day thoroughly.